Health is a state of complete harmony of the body, mind, and spirit of our soul. This is the ultimate goal of Sri Abirami Institutions. A healthy good morning to Ananda. I am Professor Dr. V. N. Indulata, Vice Principal, Sri Abirami College of Pharmacy. Wholeheartedly welcome you to the International Webinar Series 5 Artificial Intelligence Pharma Industry Perspective, organized by Department of Pharmaceutical Analysis of Sri Abirami College of Pharmacy, Coimbatore. We, Abirami College of Pharmacy, established in the year 2017, offered with B Pharmacy lateral, and D Pharmacy courses in a widespread infrastructure and modernized facilities under Sri Abirami Charitable Trust. Our other institutions are Sri Abirami College of Nursing, Abirami College of Allied Health Sciences, Sri Abirami College of Physiotherapy, and Sri Abirami Hospitals. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome our respectable chairman, Dr. P. Peresam, sir, renowned urologist, Sri Abirami Charitable Trust. Welcome you, sir. It is my privilege to welcome our all board of members, Dr. M. Devi Dev ma'am, Dr. R. Sandilkumar sir, Dr. P. Balamurugan sir, Sri Abirami Educational Institutions. Welcome ma'am, welcome sir. If your dreams create legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are an excellent leader. I am very much honored to welcome our today's guest of honor, an eminent leader, President and Chief Executive Officer of CitraGen Pharmaceuticals Incorporation, Fremont, California, Mr. Ravi Jayapal, sir, to share his wisdom of knowledge to our participants. Welcome, sir. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our principal, Professor Dr. M. Sandilkumar sir, to convene the session, as well as I invite you to open up the session. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Indulatham. It's a very pleasant morning, one and all presenting here. And on behalf of the management and the faculty team and students of Sri Abirami College of Pharmacy, we welcome you all for this webinar, International Webinar Series 5. So thank you very much for joining us now for this wonderful session. And so we, the organizing Abirami College of Pharmacy, we are organizing webinar series, and this is a fifth seminar series, fifth one. And we want to do every topics we are giving some interesting and making some advancement of topic or some useful for the students or beneficiary of research scholars. So when we discuss the further topic of seminar series 5, then I decided we'll go for some advanced topic. Let us discuss something of new or novel topic so that the pharma graduates, many of them not aware much about some interesting topic to be highlighted, to be enlightened, what I discussed. When I spoke to the expert, Mr. Ravi, and he said, okay, sure, he is living in US right now, and he has very good exposure in that area. And he said, okay, why don't we give some new topic, a new interesting one, we'll go for it. And then he decided. And today we are going to discuss the artificial intelligence. And in pharma industry, there are many areas artificial intelligence, and but especially today we are going to discuss about the pharma industry perspective. So the artificial intelligence, yes, of course, the human intelligence mixed with the computer applications made some new revolutions in the pharma sector. Hopefully, that may be of plenty of opportunities in future upcoming years. And the pay and India, moreover in India, they're planning to invest planning to crore and crore rupees for the development of new technique, new developments. So with this, it's my privilege and to invite my friend, my close mate and roommate, and Mr. Ravi. It's my pleasure to introduce his profile. It's very impressive one, and let me proceed for us. Mr. Ravi did his graduation and post-graduation in JSS College of Pharmacy, Ooty, and passed out B Pharm in 1998 and M Pharm in the specialization of pharma analysis in the year of 2000. He also completed diploma in chemical process instrumentation and control in Annamalai University, Chidambaram. He started his career as junior production chemist in Micro Labs, Hosur, India, from 1998 to 1999. After he joined in Orchids Healthcare Limited, Chennai, as an R&D analytical development chemist from October 2000 to June 2001. Then he shifted to APL Research Center. It's a division of Arbindo Pharma. It's in Hyderabad. And he joined as a research associate at fourth grade as a formulation analytical research and development in the period of 2001 and September 2003. And also he promoted as a head scientist in the same company as a head of the scientist and the Department of Formulation, Analytical Research and Development in the period of October 2003 to November 2004. After successful industrial research exposure from India, he moved to US as a head analytical research and development Concord Laboratories in Fairfield, New Jersey from December 2004 to May 2008. Later, he joined in Formlex Inc., Stockton, California, as a director, analytical research, quality control from May 2008 to December 2013. Mr. Ravi established a new company that is called CitraGen Pharmaceuticals Inc., Fremont in California, and he's a co-founder and president and CEO of from August 2017 to till date. And within 4 years of built a brand new manufacturing facility, he cleared FDA inspection and commercialized 10 products and developing 7 NDA products. He has played key role in the business transformations of an OTC drug company into an ANDA development company and non-regulated API business to regulated formulation business with international operations. He is a part of over 100 IND, NDA, ANDA filings with US FDA and other regulatory agencies. He collaborated and contributed in various working group committees involved in the preparation and establishment of ICH and USP guidelines. He is a high-performing executive with the past 20 years of experience in pharma industry with a depth knowledge in pharmaceutical operations at all levels. With this brief, now I invite Mr. Ravi to deliver the talk on artificial intelligence in pharma industry perspectives. Dr. Ravi, it's now you can start your presentations for 30 to 45 minutes. Later, we'll have a 10 to 15 minutes interactive sessions. Ravi, can you start now?
Sure. Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, Sanjay. It is my pleasure. Uh, Hope I'm audible and my screen is clear to everybody. It's very happy for me to again collaborate with my friend, my classmate, my roommate, and also a long associate with me for a long time. Even though we passed out long time back, we still in day-to-day touch, and we talk so many things in every day. So I'm happy to present here. I thank all the management and board members and the staff and principal of Sree Abirami College of Pharmacy. I also welcome every participants to the session. So as Sendil said, we are today going to talk about artificial intelligence with the pharma industry perspective. Before going into the topic, I just want to give some disclaimers. So this is a session where whatever the comments or whatever the opinions I express is entirely myself alone. It is nothing related with the organization in which I work or the organization who hosts this webinar. So with that disclaimer, I try to present you entirely a new topic or emerging topic. Though the topic is very vast and big, I try to cover a pretty good understanding or pretty good introduction about artificial intelligence and the use of artificial intelligence in the pharma industry. So with that introduction, I'll go on to the topic. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, the first question is, what is artificial intelligence? So in simple terms, it is nothing but enabling the intelligent human thinking behavior to a machine using technology. So why we have to do it? For the same reason why we have invented the wheel, because humans, in the whole human history of civilization, the biggest invention is the invention of wheel, which made us to move from one place to another place, and the whole basic invention of the mobility what we have today. In other words, we invent all the things which complement and conserve our human valuable human resource. So in the same line, uh, the artificial intelligence is basically developed to streamline a routine process with the humanly thinking machines. So by doing that, we assign that humanly thinking machines to perform tasks that could be dangerous to human life. Also, we can engage them in a complex decision making task for an unbiased decision. So this is just a brief basic, but there are many more things which we can achieve with artificial intelligence. So how this is being done? This is being done using components of intelligent sensors and machine learning techniques and computer programs and algorithms all helps this to achieve this task. What is humanly thinking? Thinking is a non-stop process which we all every day and every time, every moment we do. So thinking is basically a manipulation of information. So as we see something, that is an information. We see a cup, it is a cup. So we just immediately see, okay, this cup can be used for drinking coffee or drinking water or whatever it is. So those information we immediately manipulate in our brain. We form the concepts, we engage in problem solving, and we are making our own reasons, and then finally we make a decision. So that's what the human thinking process. So how we manipulate the information and make decisions. Let's take a simple example here. So we are sleeping, a mosquito is coming and sitting on our hand, and we immediately wake up, we hit it, just we sleep again. So that's what our quickness of the thinking process. So we usually sense the information by visual, sound, touch, or smell. So by touch, or the mosquito when it bites the pain, or the sound when it is flying near our ears, that makes us to sense something is there. So we analyze that information to identify the information and manipulate that information to our current and past situations to make a decision. So here in this case, we identify it as a mosquito using our vision. So once we see that as a mosquito, our brain is deeply programmed to kill the mosquito by a natural defense intuition, because when mosquito sits on us, it bites us and it hurts us. So this is called our hereditary or acquired intelligence. So that makes us to kill the mosquito. So this is how we come to a problem solving and the reasoning and making a decision. Then we act according to the decision. So based on the result, the analysis we are presented from the analysis, we fall from one action to other action. So here, brain instructs the neural system. So the hand moves, kills the mosquito. If the mosquito is dead, we just clean it and we go back to sleep. Even if it is not dead, still we abort that action. We will go back to sleep. That's what our intelligence or our thinking process. So how we do that is basically a three-part action. We sense, we analyze, and we act. So this is a continuous process. So whenever we see something, when we hear something, when we feel something, we continuously do this. Even though when we don't see somebody, when somebody touches, we feel that it is maybe them, because that is our intuition, that is our intelligence. So that's the whole process of human thinking. So how we build this human thinking, or how a typical AI process implement this human thinking to a machine. So there are three. The first part is you have to sense. So for a machine to sense, you need either a computer vision or whatever the vision it sees. It has to process that images, and also it needs some audible things to hear if you are talking. So that's the first part. Second part, we have to comprehend and analyze this information. So for this, we use natural language processing or image processing, and then we have to present this to a knowledge presentation set to analyze and find it out. Say, for example, you have a computer camera, so it finds a green color, so it has to tell it is green color. So it has to need a knowledge set which is telling that it's green color. So that's the comprehend and analyze portion. Then it is the action portion. So the action portion is, we need two sets here. So we need an expert systems knowledge set, so which has to tell what is what and what to do, and then a machine learning system to learn for what action what to do. So when we combine all this together, it forms the AI core system, so which is the artificial intelligence system. So it combines all these three informations, and then it takes a decisive reaction for an action. So this action, this reaction, monitored continuously. So action comes, it it takes a decision, and a reaction occurs, and then again it monitors the action. So this becomes a continuous cycle. So in this whole, the AI knowledge core system, which is the integral part, like a CPU in a computer, so which is programmed uniquely by combining the human intelligence, machine learning skills, computational program, and power of the computer. So for each task, this is uniquely done. So this is basically, for say for example, you need to move a cup from here to there, you program a machine to do that. So that machine only does this cup moving from one place to another place. So that's the whole way how we do it. So now, how this system is being created. So first thing is you need data. So you have to get the data. So what you want to do, so how you want to do, so how you are doing it. So you have to get the data, how a human does that thing. So that data has to be collected. Then that data has to be cleaned, prepared, and manipulated, because now you have to present this data to a computer or a machine. So you have to clean and prepare that data in a machine readable format, or a machine understandable format, or in a machine language. So that's the second part. So then the third part is you are training that model. So you are training that model means, okay, you're telling it, okay, this action is for this. This, if you are seeing this, this is this. Say, for example, you have red color. So you show the red color to that. So if this matches, this is red color. If this matches, this is green color. If this matches, this is yellow color. So like that, you are training the model. Then fourth one step is now you given the data to the machine and you trained the machine. So now you have to test the machine to make sure it is following the orders or following the process what you have taught to it. So basically you have to test the data, and then you have to improve it, because it is not going to be perfect in one attempt. So you have to improve it to continuously doing it. So this is a continuous cycle process in a AI system. So how it is done? So a data from machine comes. So AI is looking at the data and thinking, okay, is this like my training data? If it is confident that it is training data, it takes the action as it is programmed. So that is one. So what happens if it is not the data it is known? So then it sends to a human for review. Then the human retrains the machine, which is called the process called deep learning. And then it is happening in the real time. So then the machine again remembers that data and it continues to take the action. So that's how it is, in a simple terms, the AI system acts. Is artificial intelligence and robots are same? No, because robot is just a machine, but that robot machine can be programmed with artificial intelligence to deliver a specific task with humanly thinking. So that's the advantage of artificial intelligence. Theoretically, if we say in future we may possibly achieve robots that can entirely mimic human in future, like what we see in the science fiction films, in the movies. Why that is not possible today? Because with the current available technologies, we can achieve a monotonous or a single task humanly thinking behavior in an easy way than creating a complex neural system that should deliver multilateral human thinking. Because if we want a human like robot, it has to think like human. So that means basically we need to recreate human brain and a neural system network to achieve it. So that is not possible today, but in future it may be possible with the help of hybrid technologies involving medical, biotech, and computational skills. For example, cloning with the artificial intelligence programming of brain, we can, in theory, it is possible, but in reality, it is not existing today. The another big question always when we talk about AI is always that can AI programmed robot replace human jobs? In theory, yes, it can. And certain jobs will be replaced by humanized robots or the humanly thinking machines. But the intention is not here to replace the machines. So individual organizations, the respective organizations who are
Mr.
implementing
Ravi,
that,
sorry for the interruption.
yeah, yeah,
Can you increase your volume, please? A little bit.
sure,
Audible is very less. Can you make it a little bit louder?
sure, sure. Now is it is okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Good. Please carry on.
Okay, yeah. So in theory, we can it will definitely replace and definitely some of the jobs will be lost to the AI robots. But the intention is not to replace the humans. So respective organizations who are implementing such kind of systems has to implement a proper skill development programs in place to reutilize the human resources. And the respective government bodies must establish the regulations to monitor for the proper compliance. Since AI is in a very early stage, the impact or the situation has not yet arisen, but probably before going into it, it should definitely happen. In practicality, if we see in current scenario, the AI is used in a new and emerging fields, applications. So where it is currently not impacting much into the human resources, but the definitely the skepticness of this has to be addressed in a broader scenario by industries and the regulatory bodies before a widespread adoption of the artificial intelligence. So with the whether AI is good or bad, that if we see it is same like any other technology. Is mobile phone is good or bad? Nobody has the definitive answer. It depends on the person who is using and for what purpose. So same like that. AI is good or bad means yes. AI has every technology has its own negative sides and its own positive sides. So it is depends on us how we utilize them. We use artificial intelligence almost every day in our life because most of our social platforms like Facebook, Twitter, etc., all these are powered by AI. So all the trending topics and all the viral videos, everything is pretty much done by the AI technology. All major voice assistants like for whatever the phone voice assistants we have like Siri, Alexa, or Cortana, or Google, all are powered by artificial intelligence. Also, the major search engines like Google, Bing, Baidu, all are powered by artificial intelligence. They all work on the background with the power of artificial intelligence. When we search, whatever the results we get, how it is ranked, how it is serialized, which comes where, which website comes first, which website comes second, everything is controlled by artificial intelligence. Most of the advertisements we see during the internet browsing, that is also powered by artificial intelligence. For example, if you go to a particular website, say for example you went to a particular website which is selling TV, then when you browse something else, you will see the TV ad. So that is how the artificial intelligence works. So it doesn't individually go and find, okay, Ravi did this TV, so let me wait for Ravi to come. No, it is automatically happens. So that's how the artificial intelligence works. Same like the video streaming platforms, the YouTube, Amazon Prime, Netflix, everything uses artificial intelligence. Also, the online e-commerce sites, Amazon, eBay, everything uses artificial intelligence. When you search a product in Amazon, it is the result, which one comes to first, which one comes to second, is decided by artificial intelligence using different algorithms. So basically, all the computer programming and the algorithms decide the way how the results are being presented to you. Also, the autonomous driving car systems like Tesla electric car, those are using artificial intelligence. So even they recognize the image, they can recognize the car by using the camera vision. So in some countries, even the traffic signals use artificial intelligence to automate the signals. So if nobody is there, the signal will automatically switch off and wait for somebody to come and then switch on. So like that, there are many cases we are every day we are using in our day-to-day life. So in healthcare and pharma, if we talk in overall, artificial intelligence is in very preliminary stage, but it is making steady gains to advance in specifically if we see in the diagnostics and the medical field, there are much more use of artificial intelligence is being happening. For example, detecting breast cancer, detecting lung cancer, all those are nowadays, most of them, they are using the artificial intelligence on the image processing and the x-ray processing and all those. In pharma, it is in the very preliminary stage. That's the reason we are talking about artificial intelligence role in the pharma today, so that all you are, when you go out from your college, you will have a much better idea about it, and you will not feel like hearing this word first time. So that's the whole reason we kind of decided to talk about this. So how artificial intelligence can help pharma industry? So in pharma industry, if we see, there are three major areas. One is research and development, another one is manufacturing and marketing. So in all these three fields, artificial intelligence can help in a significant way. So it can help in drug discovery, it can help in clinical trials. Artificial intelligence can be applied to the drug substance and dosage form developments. Also the manufacturing process of the manufacturing process in the pharmaceutical products, like continuous manufacturing, inspection and product quality review, also the in-process quality assurance and the manufacturing automation, all this can be done by artificial intelligence. Similarly, in the marketing, the sales forecasting, sales prediction, also the pharmacovigilance, after the product we start selling, what about the side effects and all the adverse drug reporting system, everything can be combined into the pharmacovigilance, and then it can be done with the artificial intelligence. How this can be done is there are multiple techniques and multiple tools we need. So basically, artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science. So basically the computer programming and the computer skills we need, and then we have to use the different machines. So when we use the different machines, we need to teach the machines. So that is called machine learning progress. And also we have to use the automation principles. We have to use the computerized algorithms to define a logical controls to make the decisions by the machines. And also we have to create pattern recognition and the neural networks. With above all, we had to create a problem solving skill to the machine. So that's how the whole thing is being done in the pharma industry. So how this artificial intelligence can help in the pharma industry? Let's see an example of new drug discovery. So the new drug discovery, we all know it is a long process and a lengthy process, which involves more capital, which involves more time, which involves more human resources. So a typical drug discovery process starts with the discovery phase, and then chemistry, manufacturing controls, and then non-clinical studies, and then a clinical development studies, and then it has to be approved by a regulatory agency, either DCGI or FDA or European Medical Agency. Like that, regulatory agencies has to review all your data and say that okay, your drug is effective to treat this disease. You can go ahead and market. So then we have the commercial life cycle. So commercial life cycle, once we start selling the product, what happens in the market, whether it works or it creates any side effects which we haven't seen during the product development or the clinical development, or it is effective or not effective. All these things are there in the overall drug discovery process. So this one, if we see the drug development strategy also is important here. So there are usually two different drug development strategies are there. One is target-based drug discovery, which starts from the discovery. Another one is identification of new therapeutic uses for the existing drugs, which is popularly known as drug repurposing, which starts somewhere from the non-clinical to clinical development since the drug is already there. So now how the artificial intelligence helps in this, we will see. So to see that in general, this whole drug discovery process is segregated into four stages in the pharma industry. So the first stage is the discovery stage. The second stage is the chemistry, manufacturing controls, and the non-clinical studies. So those are the stage two. And in the stage three, the clinical development, where we do all our phase one, phase two, phase three, phase four clinical trials. And then the stage four is we file for the approval, we get the approval, and then we market the drug. So this is for the easy administration of the purpose. This is universally segregated into these four stages. So let us look what happens in these four stages. So as I said, drug discovery is a very lengthy process. On an average, a drug from the discovery stage to market stage, it happens approximately 12 to 15 years. So usually in the drug discovery, by statistics, it starts with 10,000 compounds, but at the end of the day, you get approval for only one compound. So it is 1 is to 10,000 possibility. So the drug discovery process on the stage one, we take all the compounds and we screen for the targets, and then it enters into a preclinical development phase where from the 10,000 it filters out to 250 compounds because the other compounds are not meeting the target or anything. So now to get the 250 compounds, we have to waste remaining 9,750 compounds. So that is the time taking process. So this process alone, the stage one and stage two alone takes about 3 to 5 years, provided everything goes as you expected and as meets in your protocol and whatever the protocol set is clear. Most of the times it takes more than that. Then once it have the preclinical development, it goes into the clinical development phase. Here, further it reduces to 5 compounds. So in the preclinical development to clinical development, when we go, we start our clinical trials. So in the phase 0, we see the effect on body, and then in the phase 1 we see the safety in the humans, and then in the phase 2 we study the effectiveness at treating the disease. So this process itself takes 5 to 7 years, provided you have all the volunteers ready and you have all the drug product supply and everything ready. It happens in 5 to 7 years. Out of these 5 compounds, probably 1 or 2 compounds only will go to the phase 3 study, which is a large scale safety and effectiveness study where we uh, give the drug to multiple people in a large volume, 1,000 patients, 2,000 patients, and see whether it is effective and it is safe. Then once it is done, then the long-term safety studies which start. So this is about 2 to 3 years. During this period, we once we have the phase 4 study started, we get the regulatory approval. So that becomes finally only one compound. So just think about the money, the time, the amount of human resources spent on this. So that's that's where it becomes a ideal case for the artificial intelligence to jump in and reduce these effects. Say for example, from the 10,000 compounds, if we reduce it to 1,000 compounds, it is huge reduction. So that will help us. So that's how the artificial intelligence comes. So before going into that, we have to see what are the outcomes we get in this every stage of development. So in the first stage, in the discovery, we have certain outcomes which are very critical. So we need to have a validated target for the disease so that we can test that whether the compound will work on the target or not. It can be a receptor-based target, it can be a gene, or it can be a chromosome, or it can be a enzyme. So anything it can be. So that is the basically the target which you are using. So that target has to be effectively blocked by your drug or enhanced by your drug. That's how the treatment happens. And then to do the drug, whether it is blocking or not, you need to create an assay to develop or to develop the assay to screen that. And then you have to synthesize the lead molecules and demonstrate the effect on the target. So you have to screen it. So these three are the major outcomes which we look at the stage one. So in the stage two, we have to select the lead candidate which demonstrated the effect in the targeted assay model, and we had to demonstrate that effect in the animal model. So that's where the non-clinical studies are happening, because whatever you did in the stage one, it may be a test tube study or it may be a well plate study, which is not in a living thing. So you have to now do it in the animal model to make sure it is working, your hypothesis. So that's where the stage two happening, where the non-clinical studies. So once the non-clinical studies, we find effective candidates, which is that 250 candidates we screened in the stage two, and then that becomes another 5 candidates. And then we select those candidates and we do the study in the drug demonstration, in the safety in the humans and efficacy in the humans, and then efficacy in the large patient trials, patient population. So this one actually helps us to further find the drug's effectiveness in the human. So once we have that options, then we have to go to the next position, where we take the approval, and then marketing authorization from the commercial companies are happening, and then we have to post marketing surveillance and the adverse effects we have to go. So now, what AI application can do in this each of these stages? So in the first stage, in the drug discovery stage, so we have to do a validated target. So your prediction of the role of target in the disease is very important. Say, for example, you assumed a target, or you find a target which is thinking it will work for this disease. But halfway through your stage one, you find that you have identified a wrong target, or your target is not correct. So then the whole study has gone waste for all the time which you screened 5,000 compound or 10,000 compound. It is waste. So prediction of the role of the target in the disease can be done by the artificial intelligence application. Also the compounds, the lead molecules, we have to develop, synthesize here. So those lead molecules, compound libraries can be designed by artificial intelligence application, because to synthesize a compound we need a basic library. We cannot just take any compound, one compound this, one compound that, like that we cannot do it. So we need a compound which has a library. So that library, you keep taking it, you modify the side chain, you modify the other functional groups, and then you end up with the different molecules, and then try to synthesize that molecule, and then you get into the discovery further to screen the targets. So now even the novel targets can be identified, because there are these targets are, as I said, it is receptors or genes or enzymes or these ones. So these ones, probably when we do manual screening, we might miss some of the novel targets. But when we do automation with the artificial intelligence, when we give more data to it, we get an unbiased review of the data. So we can identify some novel targets using the a application which we haven't identified still. So prediction of the drug and target interaction can be done, because we can use the chemical simulation. So basically most of the drugs which act based on the chemistry. So you have the drug which binds to a receptor, so it is a basically a absorption or a binding affinity portion, so which has to be can be predicted using the drug and target interaction in the computerized modeling systems. So that can be speeded up by the artificial intelligence application. Instead of you do one by one compound and take it and put it in a program, see the simulation, whether it works or not, make sure you have entered all the parameters. So all these activities can be automated with the artificial intelligence. Also, the prediction of drug impact on the signaling pathways, which is very important, because most of the drugs you have the side effects. It is not because of the drug is bad, because the drug is giving the action, but at the same time it is acting in some other things also. That's why you get the side effect. So those can be minimized if we can early detect this signaling pathways. So that's also possible by artificial intelligence applications. So in the second stage, when we screen the lead candidate in the animal models, we can use the prediction of structure activity relationship. Also, we can use the absorption, the distribution, metabolism, and excretion and toxicity properties of the drugs. We can predict it with the chemical models. So when you input an artificial intelligence system with more amount of data, like as we have seen in the before, so you have, like, say for example, 10,000 drugs toxicity data. You feed all the data and their structure and their properties into a system. So now you made a new compound. So this new compound is matching closely to these existing compounds. So these can have these toxicity effects. So those kind of things can be predicted using the artificial intelligence applications. So in the third stage, where we do the clinical development, so in the drug repurposing, artificial intelligence has a huge impact. So uh, we can in a typical artificial intelligence system, we can dig through the literature much faster than we manually do it. So we can identify the data which is being presented, because it is impossible for us to read every article published in the literature. It is impossible for us to read every data in the literature. So computerized data sifting or literature sifting can do the drug repurposing more effectively. Also, we can selection of the patient population can be done by the artificial intelligence, so that it can screen and it can get a selective effective patient population. Also, the review of patent data, example like genomic data. So every patient is not same. So every patient is unique. Their gene system, their DNA system are unique. So their data can reveal something, why the drug works in some patients, why the drug doesn't work in some patients. So all those informations can be derived from the artificial intelligence using the patient data with the genomic database. Similarly, in the marketing, we can do the post pharmacovigilance. So the pharmacovigilance is basically you combine all the adverse drug reaction reporting, and then you make changes to your toxicity profiles, or you warn the public to say that, okay, this can create the side effect. So all those things can be done with the artificial intelligence. So in the pharmaceutical manufacturing operation, if we see how the artificial intelligence can help, we can get a preset quality or a consistent output during manufacturing of pharmaceutical products, which is very crucial in a pharma manufacturing. However, if we see, because the quality cannot be 100% controlled, because the process relies on the deduction of and the reaction to the risk and the problems to safeguard the product quality. Say, for example, you manufacture 1 million tablets of paracetamol. You cannot test each and every 1 million tablet of the paracetamol. So basically, you do a stratified sampling and you select and you assume the whole batch is good based on testing of certain statistically sampled portion. which is we popularly known as in-process quality control and in-process quality assurance. But even after these all validated controls and statistical samplings, there is always chance of unintentional or accidental mix-up of inferior quality products. Say, for example, you can get one broken tablet. You can get two, three tablets combined together during the coating operation, because your process is not 100% controlled there. So these are accidental things which can happen in the day-to-day industrial production. So this is due to many factors, this complexity and all the process changes. These are very difficult to control in the routine process environment. The the major factor is your operating environment is very high speed. As I said, you have to manufacture 1 million tablet. It is very high speed environment. So those are very makes it very complex to do the 100% quality control or 100% quality assurance operation of a manufacturing. Also, the most of the pharmaceutical manufacturing operations are dosage form specific. That means each dosage form has unique manufacturing needs. You cannot make capsule in a tablet making machine. So each machine has to be separate. So due to these complexities, if we see the AI tool or the knowledge core which we have seen must be customized to each operation, or the whole manufacturing operation should be modified or modernized. For example, we have to move from the unit manufacturing to continuous manufacturing. So those are the things which is needed to do the artificial intelligence to be implemented in pharmaceutical manufacturing. But despite all these changes, all these challenges, we have there are significant advances made by the industry in cross collaboration with the cross-functional engineering and technology industries. So these recent advances in implementing of artificial intelligence into the pharmaceutical manufacturing, we can classify into three major segments. One is manufacturing operation changes to continuous manufacturing mode from the batch manufacturing mode. And second is we can say integrating 100% quality control operation to the systems wherever it is possible, using mostly like computer-based vision or machinery visions. So this is not AI-based, but it is preliminary to the AI. So when you have this, tomorrow when you want to implement, you can just add that machine controls to the AI system. So this is like preliminary system. And then conceptually customized prototype evaluations, which are not into the application, but these are like adapting our techniques from the other industries. Like say, for example, in the cement manufacturing industry, how they control. So you take that information and try to implement that information into the pharma manufacturing. So that's the three segments we can classify these developments. So let's see first the continuous manufacturing. A typical approach widely experimented for tablet manufacturing is, so the current unit operation system, if we see, we have multiple stages of operation. So first we weigh the raw materials, we blend them together and unload it. So this is a batch operation. And then this goes into the granulation step. Then you do the granulation. So here it might be your granulator may not be big enough to the whole batch. So you might be doing multiple batches. So that means it is semi-batch. So then you collect all the batches together and then take it to drying. Then again, you take the dried granules, take it to milling. So it might be a semi-continuous because milling you can keep loading, but it is still a batch process. So this milled granules, you again take it to blending with the lubricants, and then take the blended product into the compression, and then the compressed product goes into the coating, and then finally into the packing. So in the continuous manufacturing system, what we do is we do this whole operation in a continuous flow process. So we don't wait for one step to one step. Say, for example, the dispensing, we continuously feed the API and the excipient and the lubrication into a mill, and then it goes into the blender in a continuous blender. So this blender then again goes into the granulator and then dryer, and then it goes into the mill and then tablet press, and then it goes to the coater, and you get the final finished product. So this whole operation is a continuous process. So if we see here, we can switch between the wet granulation and the dry granulation. So depending on this one, so if you are doing a wet granulation, you will just pass through this. You will switch off this flow. So if you are doing only the dry granulation, you will switch off the flow through the wet granulation, and you will do the dry granulation. So that's how the continuous manufacturing system works in an overall view. So how the artificial intelligence comes into the continuous manufacturing? So this is done based on a moving horizon based real time optimization. So it is it is basically a hybrid model of predictive control system is integrated. So the target is here is we have to continuously manufacture the tablet using a quality by design approach based on efficient continuous manufacturing. Basically, you want a speed process, but at the same time, you don't want to compromise your quality. At the same time, your quality is not by testing. You are by designing of your product itself. You are building the quality into it. So how we do this? So we see the API and excipients are being feeded into this one, into the mill. So you have the feed controls. So these feed controls are integrated with the process controllers. So these process controllers all comes into the your hybrid model predictive system. So which takes the variables on the real-time testing. So now your product is 100% quality controlled. So every tablet is being tested for its flow, for its hardness. Every tablet is tested for its screening, and optionally you can do a batch-based dissolution testing, because once you do the dissolution test, you cannot take back the tablet. So the dissolution testing becomes a destructive testing. So you integrate your process integrity controllers, and then you combine everything into a process control, predictive control, basically like a computer CPU. You can, in a short term, you can, in a easy way, you can identify this. So then this takes all the inputs and outputs, and does the manipulating variable. So say, for example, you get, now you compress the tablet. The real-time analysis says your weight is more. So immediately it shut down the flow to control that flow to make it to less powder. So that's how it does. So say, for example, suddenly your RSD of the blend uniformity is going high. So then it will control the flow here. So this is in real time. It will communicate between back and forth, like four people standing together and talking to each other and doing a task. So hey, do this, do that, like that. Each machine talks with each other, and the central processing unit, the MPC1, the predictive control system, which controls it, and the overall system, the RTO, the real-time optimization system, monitors everything. So this all set points and the control variables and everything, when you program it together, it becomes a continuous manufacturing for overall tablet process. So this is the new system how we try to establish in the industry. So this way, what happens is your 100% product is quality control. So now you cannot have in this system a product which is a low weight tablet or a high weight tablet, or which is a low hardness tablet or a high hardness tablet. So basically, you are trying to create a unbiased or 100% controlled system. So that's how this AI can modernize the manufacturing system. So the same way, the 100% quality control operation systems using computer or machine vision systems. It is, for example, here if we see, this is a packaging system. So the packaging system, it equipped with the camera. So in real time, it detects the broken tablet. So when the broken tablet is detected, it rejects that bottle. So that means now you have a real time control of 100%. So you basically it pictures every tablet, and it identifies based on the thickness of the tablet, or the length of the tablet, or the shape of the tablet. So that's how it is being programmed. Similarly, the machine vision based, here it doesn't use the camera, but it uses a color matching technique with the X-ray system. So this basically flashes the X-ray light through the packaging system, and it identifies the color and the shape. And then when it is a broken tablet or a broken capsule, it identifies that and it stops. So both these systems tracks 100% your quality control operation during the manufacturing itself. So that based on that, you get 100% quality product as an output. So that's the most important thing or most advantageous thing when you use this kind of systems. So how the AI can help in the sales forecasting? So any product, whatever we do, whatever the highly technology product, if you don't sell it, then there is no meaning of making that product. So sales forecasting is a critical factor for growth of a business. So if you don't it has usually been done in combination with multiple factors. Like we take the historical sales analysis. Say for example, we see, okay, how much last year we sold, during the winter season how much we sold, during the raining season how much we sold, and then how many competitors are there, how many products we have, how much patient population is there. So all these factors we take it into consideration, and we try to forecast demand so that we can manufacture this year. So this is all being done for that purpose. So basically when we do that, in reality, if we see, we can say all the sales forecast models are ineffective, are inaccurate, because none of the system predicts in close reality. So pharmaceutical companies now going back to the artificial intelligence in planning activities, specifically for the sales forecasting. There are multiple artificial intelligence models are already created and available in the market, which generate the sales forecasting. So most of the sales forecasting is done monthly or quarterly or varying levels, whichever the way we want it. In basic, all this using artificial intelligence algorithms, we can increase the accuracy of the sales forecast. Still this sales forecast is not 100% accurate, still we might be having, but only thing is it is little bit more accurate than the manually predicted ones. So these predictions provided by artificial intelligence on the sales channel effectivity or the customer segment performance, product performance, and the customer engagement enables all these are can be set to attainable target or quota proactively to make decisions to identify the opportunities to increase or decrease the investment. Say for example, you make a product which is you make every year 1 million tablet, but it is selling only 100,000. So then you can change it. So that's how it use it. So most of these approaches, what they do is they use a fuzzy logic techniques. The fuzzy logic technique means you change multiple variables at the same time. So you don't change one variable. So you change multiple variables. So that creates a multiple case scenario cumulatively and varied the output to a reliable or a reasonable forecast based historical data and the performance. So this creates a highly advantageous and highly flexible data output, which we can uh, closely predict. So how the pharmacovigilance it can help. So the pharmacovigilance, as we know, it is a drug safety program. So it is a pharmacological science relating to collection, detection, assessment, monitoring, and prevention of the adverse effects of our marketed pharmaceutical products. So in post-marketing, we collect this data, which is very critical for the companies as well as the patients to ensure the safety of the treatments. So, say for example, you have been prescribed a product. You take that product for a headache, but you end up in vomiting. So you go and tell your doctor, "Hey, doctor, I take this tablet. I got vomiting." So the doctor reports to the company. So that's how the pharmacovigilance data is being collected. So in the typical pharmacovigilance process is in the pre-marketing itself, we plan and target the risk evaluation and mitigation strategy. So in short term, it calls as REM. So in the post-marketing, what happens so when you went and tell the doctor, so doctor or the nurse who works there, they report it to the ADR collection system. So the ADR collection system, then it collects the signal, and then it analyzes the evidence assessment, and then it goes into the regulatory action, and then it communicates to the doctor, and then the measurement of the effectiveness is being done.
Hello?
And then if many people are reported like that, then we have to update the package into saying that, okay, this product may create vomiting to you. So and then we have to communicate this to the regulatory agencies like FDA, WHO, and BCGA, and all these people. So that's how the whole typical pharmacovigilance process works. But when we do the AI, what we can do is we can combine all these informations together. So instead of once you get a report, after that you going back and finding out how many people already reported this. So this, when you get the report itself, it will tell you, okay, already 10 people reported this effect, already 20 people reported this effect, the person who reported his medical history is this, the doctor who reported he treated the patients like this. From the doctor we already got same doctor we got 10 reports, from the from the same patient we got 10 reports. So that means it's a duplicate report, so we have to remove it from the number. So those kind of all things can be automated using the artificial intelligence system. And then the major activities are here. It is a very laborious and multiple people involvement activity, because continuously clinical associate has to be on the field periodically. He has to go and meet the particular set of doctors to make sure they report the adverse drug reactions to the system, so that the things are known. Apart from the marketing efforts, this is also being done. So these all things can be combined and created a database with the artificial intelligence system. So that makes the regulatory submission easy, and the patient gets the information faster. So if any side effect comes, we alert the patient very early than waiting for 5 years to combine all the data. So now in the how it is being streamlined is, so you create multiple inputs. Basically you create instead of relying on one input, you create multiple inputs. Like say for example, you create a online reporting system for doctors, so you get a spontaneous reports, and you continuously go through the literature. So like the from the multiple inputs, you collect the data and you follow up the data. You create a processing system, which is, these all are now automated processing system using AI. So it collects the data, it creates a database by collating the data, and then it expedites the reporting. It immediately sends, okay, today 10 people reported, today 5 people reported, today no report, like that. It immediately gives you the expedited reports. And then the automatic follow-up system, say for example the same doctor created 10 reports, so then it creates an automatic follow-up system to the doctor. It's emailing, okay, this 10 reports is same person or different person. So it clarifies and it validates the data. So then it collates the data. So then this data goes into the analysis and review, where it aggregates the reports. So how many side effects from how many people? Somebody reported vomiting, somebody reported headache, somebody reported nausea. So all these things are being aggregated, and then the risk management plans, which we already set, it is compared against that. So based on all these data, it creates an action and then issues to the management. So that's how it simplifies. So to do this, it requires the artificial system requires medical knowledge, it requires the medical expertise and the advanced analytical skills and natural language processing or the machine learning, and everything it has to be fed into that. So when you do that, you get all these systems. Pretty much now for pharmacovigilance and sales forecasting, you have the models which are readily available in the market, where you can buy and customize for your own needs. So how the AI system relates to our natural intelligence, or in summary, let's see a summary capture where how and the artificial intelligence and the natural intelligence works together. So as I said, sense, analyze, act. So in overall, in the natural intelligence system, we have a memory which we create multiple memories events in the memory. So when we get the information, we process that information, and we get the expression based on our memory. When we see somebody who knows to who are known to us, we immediately smile. So that's the logic. So you don't smile to a known person when you go for some sad event. So that's the contextualization. So the logic is you create your intelligent system based on the contextualization and the application and the reminiscence. So the same thing you have to create in the artificial intelligence. So how you are doing it? you are creating data models. The data models which you are creating are based on the process and the presentation and the ontologies. So that is creates the whole model system. So that model system, you are implementing the contextualization, and you are implementing the natural language processing and the natural language gainings, and you create the rules and algorithms which transforms into the application, and then you get into the action. So that's how the artificial intelligence mimics your natural intelligence. So this artificial intelligence, a typical development, if we see how it happens, is so based on all the discussion now we had, if we summarize, it's a process is this one. So first we need to identify the required data. We have to collect and understand the data, and then we have to prepare the data and pre-process it. So we have to clean and format the data to the computer readable format or the machine readable format, and then we have to model that data. We have to select the algorithms. We have to say, okay, if the tablet is broken into half, the thickness is less. If the tablet is chipped in the corner, the thickness is this much less. So all these things we have to model the algorithm data, and then build the predictive models. So you have to give the data, and then you have to train the model with the sample data sets. Then you have to test the data set with the and iterate. So this is continuous process. You have to do it again and again. So how much data you give, that much accurate your artificial intelligence system. Then you have to optimize the model. You have to understand the model. You have to choose the best features, and you have to analyze the results at the last step, and then understand where it can be improved. So this is a continuous system. So that this is the basic process, whether you use it in the drug discovery, or whether you use it in the manufacturing, or whether you use it in the sales forecasting. Everywhere the artificial intelligence system, not only in pharma industry, in any industry, this is the basic process of the artificial intelligence system is being created. So these 7 steps are the ones. And obviously you need the computers, and you need the programmings, and you need the sensors and all the related hardware. So basically you combine the information, you using the data, and you modify that data to talk to the machine, and the machine to think and act based on the data. So that's how the whole artificial intelligence system works. Hope I have given enough information and I didn't bore you all. So now uh, it's open to questions and discussions.
Thank you, Ravi. It was really a wonderful presentation. It totally reflects the person who is in academic, in industry. It's really very, very impressive topic, the area to be worked, what I feel. There are a few questions from students or maybe the teachers.
Sure.
Sir, tell about the pharma industry in India, how the artificial intelligence are used or utilized.
Oh, there are many Indian companies who are working on the artificial intelligence and the pharma industry in India, because pharma industry in India is not like other industries. Uh, Even in the recent news, as you could have seen, India is the pharmacy of the world. So pharma industry is very large in India. So obviously there are a lot of implementations on the manufacturing sector, especially. A lot of things are going on in the continuous manufacturing systems. Also the on the R&D systems, the drug discovery and this one. There are many companies working. At least I know my immediate thought itself, I can say at least 5 to 10 different companies who are working on this field.
Okay, and then another question: implementation in AI, maybe manufacturing unit, it can cause any unemployment. Maybe the modernization or computerization can cause any of unemployment.
Sure, definitely there is a possibility is there, because there are a lot of low level operator level jobs are definitely in risk for 2 reasons. One is like continuous manufacturing, like modernized system and comes in, probably the number of people who require to do the operation might become less. So definitely it can have, but as I said, the individual companies has to definitely take care of taking care of their employees, and also the government should put a proper system to not making the people to lose the job because of the technology advancement. See, it is same like how the typewriters being replaced by the computer. So it is similar situation. So definitely regulatory framework is required here to take care of that scenario. But it cannot be ruled out that scenario is definitely it is there. The threat is there.
Okay, okay. Agree with you. And there's one more thing, question from staff, I guess. So these type of advanced topic required at UG level. I mean, a person UG level is required this kind of topic, but they learn teaching only basics. So he is asking about UG level. Does it's required these kind of areas?
Definitely, definitely it is required. See, whatever my marketing basic is, the IBM which I have studied in B Farm only. I still remember the demand and supply theory what my IBM teacher has taught to me and Dr. Senthil. We all still remember that because the way he thought was that much so nice. Because if if we don't know the basic at the UG level, then it becomes harder to go in. Because pharma is not a single subject field. Pharma is an integrated or allied field. We study chemistry, we compete with chemists. We study marketing, we compete with MBA or BBA graduates. So we are an interdisciplinary field. So we have to know about different areas also. You don't need to be a master, but at least you should know what is what.
Definitely, I remember demand and supply. Yeah, it's good. And the one more interesting is asking about drug discovery area. Can you little bit elaborate on the drug discovery areas? What are the possibilities of executing AI?
Oh, drug discovery is the major area where everybody is expecting the AI will play a huge role. Because in the current scenario, what happens is our failures cost more than the success. So most of the cost which we spend in the drug discovery is on the failure experiments. So to get a one drug to get into the market, we had to screen multiple drugs and multiple targets and multiple this one. So, and the biggest challenge is in the drug discovery field, if we see the always there will be a shortage of skilled manpower, because the drug discovery is something specialized field which you don't always have a excess manpower or a excess skilled people to do the things. So here actually a need is there. So pretty much every big company, every multinational company is investing in the artificial intelligence platform on the drug discovery area, especially in the clinical trial and the initial target discoveries.
Okay. There is one more question from sir. You're entrepreneur. Can you guide us? Can you give some tips how to become entrepreneur? I'm seeing your profile, and he maybe asked, sir, you're entrepreneur. Can you give some tips or suggestions to become entrepreneur in pharma?
See, only one tip: whether you work or whether you be an entrepreneur, keep listening. That is the first thing. Second thing, in the industry or in the field, whatever the field you go, don't think that this is not my job. Only this is my job. Keep your knowledge open. Learn all the things as much as possible. Uh, Even though if it is not related to your job, try to understand and learn, because that's how I learned the computer, and that's why I talk about artificial intelligence today. If I haven't learned the computer, I could not able to probably understand many of these things, because it involves a lot of programming. Today we have our own artificial intelligence system in our company, which does the literature mining for our NDA products. And we have created that whole system on our own. we didn't go into any companies, or we didn't do it. Basically, that's the base to start this company. So practically, it can read 8,000 pages in 5 minutes. So that's the power of the computing. So it's, don't think that I'm a pharmacist, I should not know about computer, or I should not know about chemistry, or I should not know about this one. Look into all the fields, learn wherever you are, be open. Very, very simple.
I may support your answer to the candidate or the question being asked. And Mr. Ravi is an electrical and electronic pharmacist, what we used to call in our degree program. So that's why he's a successful entrepreneur in recent days, and he is exposed in artificial intelligence areas. And so thank you, so Ravi. Thank you. It's very much interesting session, and it's a nice to have interact with you. And so much, it's very good to see your profile is so impressive. And on behalf of our management, and thank you so much for accepting our invitation to host this guest this webinar. Especially my personal behalf also, I would like to thank you for this invitation and presentation. And hope I need your support in future also to tie up with some MOUs or guiding to our students or in future forthcoming webinars. I hope I'll be in touch with you for fulfillment of
Sure,
our profession as well as our student community. Thanks
sure,
so
sure.
much, Dr. Ravi and Mr. Ravi, and so nice interaction with you. Can you say some few words so that we can wind up the session?
Sure, sure. Thank you, Sandil. Thanks for first inviting me and giving me an opportunity to talk about entirely a different topic to the students. Probably it is new to everybody. Probably it would help them to at least go and search and read further on this topic so that they can gain more knowledge on this. First, I thank for the opportunity given to me. To the management as well as the staff, all of the staffs. Uh, Also, the important thing is here is sharing the knowledge is the growth of everybody. If I don't share, nobody will know that I know this. So
Agree with you.
that's
Yeah,
what
yeah, true, true, true.
our principles are same. Even though we grow, our principles are same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very good.
sure. Always. Thanks for the opportunity, and for all the listeners, thanks for patiently listening. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ravi, and thank you so much all the participants, those who are watching for the past 1 hour or so. And so keep expecting a few more webinar series on the way. And hope we'll have a good topic. We'll be in touch with you very shortly. Every week, Friday, we are planning to host some webinar. And thank you for joining for us today and this wonderful session. And now I hand over the session to Dr. Indulada. Can you take over the session, please?
Yes, sir. So, the adventure of life is to learn more. I hope all the participants of today's webinar may step to something new topic. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for thought-provoking speech. Really, it gives various what do you say views on hidden areas of pharmaceutical technological aspects, especially artificial intelligence in a pharmaceutical industrial perspective. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us such a wonderful speech that triggered the future pharmacist good goal and motto, I hope. On behalf of management, principal, staff, and students of Sri Abirami College of Pharmacy, I wholeheartedly submit my thanks to you, sir. Thank you very much. Really,
Thank
I
you.
want to thank our chairman, Dr. P. Pereswamy sir, and Board of Directors, Dr. M. Kundavidevi ma'am, Dr. R. Sandal Kumar sir, and Dr. P. Balamurugan sir, for their constant encouragement and to complete this webinar up to this mark. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I take this opportunity to thank our principal, Professor Dr. M. Sandal Kumar sir, for his continuous effort and hard work put up in the international webinar seminar as a grand man. Thank you, sir. Especially, I want to thank all the participants for their kind cooperation and choosing this webinar for your active participation. Thank you, one and all. At last, I want to thank our team members of teaching, non-teaching, technical faculties for their attention and fabulous work towards this success of this webinar. Thank you, one and all. Dear delegates, find and submit the feedback form from the YouTube live stream or from the webinar invitation to receive your e-certificates to your registered email ID. Never to suffer, good, never to have been blessed. Stay safe, stay healthy. Wishes to you all. Thank you, one and all. So, shall we conclude the session, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, one and all. And have a good day. Bye bye to one and all. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you, sir.